Thanks, Nathan. And new at noon, State Senator Jason Rapert is among a group of lawmakers who are working to pass laws that would stop people from crossing state lines to get abortions. It comes less than a week after the U.S. Supreme Court overruled Roe v. Wade and Arkansas's trigger law banning abortion took effect. According to the Washington Post, Senator Rapert is looking at presenting legislation during the planned special session later this year. He says there is at least one other Arkansas senator who indicated support to the publication. Something to keep in mind, the legislation would require a 2/3 vote in both the House and the Senate to be considered, since abortion isn't the focus of this special session. And on top of that, Governor Asa Hutchinson saying this afternoon that he would not sign a bill like that into law. Here's what he said on CBS Mornings today.
The challenge there is that that would be in violation of interstate commerce. Obviously, we want to discourage that because the public policy in Arkansas is to limit abortions and to carry out the will of the people. And so we recognize that that is something that even the United States Supreme Court addressed in one of the concurring opinions, that this is not intended to restrict interstate commerce. The Supreme Court.
Today, President Joe Biden will meet with Democratic governors who vowed to protect abortion rights. In a press conference yesterday, the president called the Supreme Court's decision to strike down Roe v. Wade outrageous and announced his support for a filibuster carve-out in the U.S. Senate. He's calling on Congress to pass a law with a simple majority vote. Skylar Henry has more from the White House.
Today, President Biden holds a virtual meeting with a group of Democratic governors to discuss the future of abortion rights.
It is a mistake, in my view, for the Supreme Court to do what it did.
It comes one day after the president slammed the high court's decision to overturn Roe v. Wade on the world stage. He also announced his support for a change in Senate rules, despite previous opposition from two moderate Democrats.
I believe we have to codify Roe v. Wade, and if the filibuster gets in the way, it's like voting rights. It should be, we provide an exception.
In a statement, Senate GOP leader Mitch McConnell slammed the president's remarks as an inappropriate attack on the court, adding the people will now have a say on abortion rights. The Democrats have seized the issue to rally voters ahead of this year's midterm elections, with abortion measures already expected on some state ballots. Planned Parenthood and other supporters of abortion rights have also turned to state courts. In Florida, a judge said he'd temporarily block the state's 15-week ban under the state constitution, following similar rulings in other states.
It was not, of course, something, that we were happy to see.
Florida's Republican governor has vowed to continue the legal battle. Skylar Henry, CBS News, the White House.
This week, the Department of Health and Human Services laid out steps it's taking to support family planning services, announcing millions of dollars in new grants for provider training and issuing tips for protecting patient privacy.